Gojira.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monster Report, a show highlighting those entertaining creatures of film history. Nick Adam here, your host, and we typically have audio on it, but as my guest and I were talking before we went on the air, I believe StreamYard's having some issues. Maybe they're getting hacked by a foreign nation. I don't know what's going on with it, but we're here. We're going to muddle through it, and we're glad you're here. To join us for an episode of the Monster Report Live. We've got a great show in store for you for the next hour, so sit back, relax, join us in the chat. We'll be glad to answer your questions. My guest and I, and Gojira Saurus is already in the chat saying, ouch, you're right, ouch. I apologize for that. I am someone who is kind of, when it comes to media and video, audio production, things like that, I do not like when tech glitches are happening. He says that I have, it sounds like I have throat cancer. I do not, but I'm a little congested, but I'm here. And again, we're going to muddle through this and do the best that we can. So we're very appreciative that you are here. And we just ask that, I just ask that since you're here, you subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the Monster Report, and share the show with others that are out there. Atomic blast that like button, as my good friend Everett Grondin from Godzilla Fan Freaks likes to say. And one of these things that's happening these days is, of course, that we have a lot of Godzilla news. It's just insane. It's just drinking from a fire hose. And, hearing about things that are happening in Japan. The next Godzilla movie. Yes, Fred Hollis. Yes. When is the next movie? I wish I knew. I just know that it is in the works, and Mr. Takashi Yamazaki, who directed Godzilla -1, is part of it, and that's always good news. So I'm slowly becoming a Dalek. Wrong IP for me, but I know what you're talking about. So good reference there. Appreciate it. But yeah, again, subscribe to all this, and we're going to talk some Godzilla 70th anniversary because there's so much going on, and my guest has had the chance to get some sweet photography from Japan, and he's a good friend of mine. I met him at G-Fest years ago, the last time I've been to G-Fest, which has been a few years, almost a decade. We have, joining us today on the Monster Report, Mr. Len Medlock. Good to have you, Len.
Hello there, Nick. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me along, Nick. This is real exciting. Thanks for the opportunity.
I'm so glad to have you, and again, everyone out there, I know you'll forgive us. I know Len's his feed is coming in through staticky, and it's not his fault. We've troubleshooted it beforehand. It's nothing he's doing. I think there is definitely something up with StreamYard today. So if you'll muddle through it with us and you enjoy the show, just give us a like and just enjoy this with us, and we appreciate it. But yeah, I'm friends with Len on social media, of course, and I met him in person. I know that Len does a lot of really great photography, and Len got the chance to visit Japan recently, the 70th anniversary. Can you believe it, Len? 70 years we've had Godzilla.
He's looking good, too.
He is.
I hope I look that good at 70,
And he's lasted the test of time. And there's so much cool stuff that's happening in Japan, and I have personally not had the chance to visit Japan. I understand you've had the chance to visit there a few times and bring back some pictures and of course the experience, which is why we have you today.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, and Gojira Saurus, you are, yes, I envy him too. And what's cool about the time and place we live in is that, of course, we have social media, we have streaming like this, and we have digital photography. And I knew Len from when he shot the pictures for the concerts we've had at G-Fest. So I know you did the Fukube 100, Symphonic Fury, and probably the Crescendo concert as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, excellent. And so, with that, Len has generously given his time to be here on the Monster Report to talk about his experience and show off some imagery that I've got in a slideshow format here in just a minute, and show off what's happening over there in Japan, and especially in the expo, which is in Osaka.
Yeah. Well, the expo in Osaka was I think its first day was the let's see, might have been October, excuse me, November 1st or November 2nd. And they were having it just on the weekends, which is really strange for something like that. This expo was in on the 13th floor of a department store in Osaka. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was preparing for the G tour. I was on G tour, with MYK Enterprises and a few folks who you may have seen at G Fest, and we were there for about 8 days. And this expo was going on, and it was just at a very weird time, and I couldn't get tickets to it. You had to have a phone number, a Japanese phone number, and it was just really, I just saw it on the internet and thought, okay, gee, that looks like a lot of fun, and there'll be stuff there. I don't know what's going to be there. So I asked one of the MYK tour directors, can I borrow your cell phone number to get tickets to this thing? And they were able to help me, and I think the cost came out to be $11. Uh, and That's how I got the ticket. But I couldn't go until November 9th. So I had to extend my stay in Japan, which is not a bad thing, a little more of an expense, but was able to go on that Saturday. And that's from Tokyo to Osaka is a 3 hour ride. Even with the Shinkansen, it's still, about a 3 hour ride. So I had to get up at 5 in the morning and, get on the Yamanote line over to the Shinkansen down to Osaka to go to the department store, see the exhibit, and then walk around a bit, and then take the 3 hour ride back to the hotel. So it was a quick shot.
and the
Yeah.
fact that just even the landmass of Japan is not what we think of as how much space we have in the U.S. with distances and travel time, but yet
Yeah.
still 3 hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, thankfully, the transit system is very efficient there, and it just works. And it's on time and it's clean, and you can really get anywhere you want pretty easily.
All
Yeah,
right, excellent.
yeah.
And yeah, before we get into the pictures, do you often get over to Japan to visit every year
No,
or so? Or no?
no, not really. I mean, but the first time I went was in '93, just on my own. I just wanted to go to Japan. Of course, I've been a Godzilla fan since the early '70s. But I just wanted to go and experience, and I just walked around Tokyo. And I mean, there's no Google Maps, there was no internet per se, or you couldn't do a lot of research. You just, I had maps, physical maps.
Yeah.
And then I went in 2023 to see Godzilla minus one at its opening day there. Went to see that and brought my wife, and we did a little tour of a tea farm and things, more of a cultural visit. And this only my third time was with G Tour, and then I did my own extension. I extended my stay and did my own things. So this is only my third time. But if you do wish to go, I mean, the flights can be expensive, but the food and things like that are not in Japan. It's really affordable, so don't let that scare you, friends. Hopefully, everyone could get a chance to go. If not for the Godzilla thing, I just experienced a different culture, food, and it's the land of the things that we love. But there's many things in Japan that are just really nice to see and experience. I hope everyone
And,
gets to go.
and one of the questions I've often thought of, and I'm sure our viewers have too, is the language barrier. And what is it to prepare ahead of time to deal with that, or is it I need to pay somebody to be my kind of tour guide or escort, essentially?
Yeah, no, you can learn some pleasantries. It's always good to, wherever you're going, obviously, to kind of learn some of the uh, pleasantries like "Good morning, can I help? Can you help me?" Emergency things. I need help. I need a doctor. But I'm thankfully right now, knock on wood, English is the language of business, right? Um, Hopefully that's who knows what the future holds on that one. But in Tokyo, really, there is no language barrier. They if they see that you're trying to speak even even something like "Good morning" or "How are you," they'll very much very be glad to respond in English, and they're very outskirts of Tokyo. If you go to the suburbs and things of yes, it is, there is a little language barrier there. But if you have a book and the Google Translate app works wonders for conversations, the technology now really brings people closer. I didn't find any problem with that at all. The only problem was the cost of the flight. If you can get that cost down, you can go to Japan and don't worry about anything.
And I know it's a grueling length of a flight too.
Oh
My brother
yeah.
lives in Hawaii, and even that
Oh
from where I
wow.
live in Indiana is a good 10 hours. And
Yeah.
obviously if longer if you had more layovers in between. But I would
Right.
assume that you're probably in the neighborhood of the 18 hours maybe from where you are in New Hampshire.
Yeah, yeah. I used Air Canada and then fly into Montreal, which is, from Boston, which is just, 45 minutes an hour. But out of Montreal to, yeah, I think it was 14 hours, you know, plenty of time to
Okay.
watch a Godzilla movie.
Excellent. We had a question in the chat, and then we'll get to some of these pictures. I wonder if Len had the opportunity to buy any theater exclusive Bandai figure at Godzilla feature at the showing.
Yes. Yes,
Any
Gojira.
swag? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Gojira. Yeah, I did. It's a little blue theater exclusive Godzilla -1 figure. I have it over there somewhere. You probably have seen it. You can get these things now online anywhere, But yeah, theater exclusive. The showings at the Toho Theater in Hibiya, the Godzilla Square, they do have a little gift shop, and with things you can. I mean, they have Godzilla towels. I mean, you can get crazy with this stuff, keychains, But yeah, the little figures that are there, and they're very inexpensive, and it's nice to see kids pick up things and they buy the toy and they're playing with it right there on the floor in the theater. It's just adorable.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I was going to say, yeah, you can definitely go broke with all of the Godzilla merch that's out there, the kaiju merch that you can find.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Very easily get to these pictures here. But of course, I wanted to kind of play some late night before we get into your pictures. So I'm a big Photoshop fan. So it's kind of like David Letterman. I kind of like to ham it up a little bit. So if you guys are willing to laugh a little bit before we get into Len's pictures here. Yeah, I definitely want to bring some of that in here. But first, Gojira had a question for you. The Tamashi Mandrake book off. I don't.
Yes, yeah, Gojira. I went to Mandarake. Um, the one in Nakano Broadway is 4 floors of tokusatsu anything. I
Oh,
did see the Tamashi Nations. I'm not a collector of Tamashi, but I did see their store. Plenty of goodies in there. I did not go. I don't know what Book Off is, but I did go to Tokyo Hands. Tokyo Hands is a department store, and on the second floor they have they're new, but they're Marasans of uh, of Godzilla, of other Toho things and non-Toho things. So yeah, Mandarake was nice to visit. I went to several of those. Um, the funny thing with Mandarake, though, I mean, you can shop online with them. You don't have to visit their stores. So if you don't have the can't get to Japan, you can go Mandarake online, create your account. Very easy to use Mandarake online. So Gojirasaurus, yeah, if you wish to, I've used it. Um, and there's an English site too, so feel free to use Mandarake online and feel safe that you'll get your stuff. I've used them; they're great.
and I was going to say the shipping sometimes is maybe the thing to consider. But I guess if you get a decent amount of stuff in one shipment, combining that shipment, that's probably the way to go. But you know,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
you're visiting Japan anyways, and you want to pick some stuff up and bring it back with you,
They will
there's
do
always
that
that.
for you. Absolutely.
Oh,
Mandarake will,
yeah,
yeah, if you're at the Nakano Broadway one is there where they were founded. That's their parent store, if you will. But any of the stores they will ship that out for you. And they use DHL, which
I-
just works all the time. They're a great
yes.
company. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I've had my experience with DHL as well, and when with international shipping. So I kind of figured that if we didn't have any announcements from Toho, maybe we'd Photoshop some. So that's what we're here to do today, and then we'll get into Len's pictures, which are extraordinary, much better than my Photoshops. So
Oh,
I guess if Toho and TLC were to collab, let's say on their next project, that it might look something like this. My 20,000 ton life, Godzilla, he's definitely hitting the nuclear waste and the nuclear cheese puffs hard these days. So why not?
and
But I
vats.
also,
I love
yeah.
this. I love to see the vats of nuclear waste. Just
And what about those flowers? This was my son's idea.
I didn't even see though. That's clever.
It's fun what you can do with AI and Photoshop these days. Some of this is obviously the just fonts and logos and just brushing the cheese on his mouth there, but some of it AI actually. So not that I'm trying to replace anyone's artwork with my 3 mile
3 mile coffee table. That's good.
I like that. And just in case Toho wanted to get into the live theatrical productions, this has been a movie in the past, but it also has been a live theater experience of the 12 Angry Men, which, if Toho had their chance to, the 12 Angry Monsters.
And those are angry monsters.
And what could they possibly have to contribute to the case that they're trying? I don't know. That might be interesting. I wonder who would be the jury foreman. Maybe Shin Godzilla over there.
Look at that. You have Minya in there, and I'd never seen him that angry, but he looks angry there.
That's right.
He looks
Now
very, yeah. He's just. I think out of all of them, he looks the angriest. Oh,
it's the
maybe Shin
content,
Godzilla's a close second.
and he could be smiling too. So it's hard telling. But you can tell I'm mostly a Showa fan. I do like me some Heisei, some Reiwa, some, Millennium or whatever. But yeah, I'm mostly a Showa kid. But, this all pales in comparison with the holiday season. And just Jack Lugman. He's on the table even. It's just getting crazy. But yeah, it all pales in comparison to the holiday season. Toho, and most of Japan doesn't do much for Christmas and the American holidays that we have. But let's say they would like to, take advantage of that with Godzilla's new album. All I Want for Christmas is Kaiju. So, it can be a best-selling album. Especially when you get my friend Everett's favorite Godzilla, which is the 62.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that suit as well.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought this one really worked well with the hat,
Oh, it's all about the hat. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, Mariah is over. It's now Godzilla. Yeah. Every year they're always worried about, hearing that in the department stores right over and over and over again. And, it is what it is. We've already started decorating here. My family loves Christmas and they have already started decorating. So why not?
Oh, wow. I'm way behind. I haven't done a thing yet. All right, that's next.
And not to make anyone feel like they need to this early, but if you want to, sure, why not?
Well, that album right there makes it so festive for me. Now I have to decorate. I'm getting on it tomorrow. You did it for me, Nick.
Yeah, that did it. And, he does look good in that hat. I would buy this album.
He really does. I mean, it fits him better than I think any hat I've had. I mean, it it snugs his cranium just perfectly. You can right over his eyes. It's just it works.
Is that Norman England? If you're talking about the two of us, no. Unless you're talking about Godzilla here. Uh, no Norman England here today. But let's get to the land of Osaka, and in no particular order is some photography from Len, direct from Osaka. Tell me about if
Yeah,
people don't know what that is. I know what it
yeah.
is.
This was a surprise. So they had at the Osaka exhibit, items from Showa and the Millennium and a little bit of this is a little bit of Rewa here. So that's the actual prop from Godzilla minus one. The which I think we should all have a toy of that. I'm sorry, so that's the I guess if you look back in the Showa days, I think they did in Heisei too, where they have a little monster on the map, and the tanks are there or a boat. I just thought when I saw that on the movie, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just like back in the day when, they'd have a little, like in Varan, there's a giant Varan, they put a little Varan toy on the map, right? So when in the film, I just thought it was really a nice callback. And at the expo, they had it there. That's the actual one that was used in Godzilla minus one. I think it's about the size of a Bandai, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, there was other pictures I think in your collection of it, but to give it an idea of scale, but
Yeah.
huh, there it is, right from I can't remember the scientist's name, with the crazy hair in minus one, but
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
who had that all set up there, and I think in the
yeah.
background is some of what was the valving for the aquarium he had, right?
Which I call a dunk tank. But yeah, it's an aquarium. And yeah, that tank was there as well. So the tank is
Yeah,
just a thing of glass, But hey,
sure.
it was in the movie. But okay, well
Yeah,
now this one was a surprise. I did. I mean, all this was blowing me away. But yeah, so that's the helmet and the boots worn by Akiko Harata, who played, as you know, Dr. Serizawa. Those are the boots that he wore, and the helmet number two from 54, of course, our beloved film. I don't know. I don't remember. I have to go back and like I've seen, like all of us on this broadcast have probably seen these movies 40, 50 times, maybe even 100 times. I don't remember the ropes. So I have to go back and see if there's ropes in the movie, but those are the shoes apparently, or boots, if you will, diving boots.
yeah, the weighted boots that they would have wore with
Yeah,
those diving
right,
bell. Not diving bell.
right.
That's still that same technology era of diving bells
Yes, it
and
is. Yeah,
very heavy iron, whatever.
yeah.
Looking at that helmet must be incredibly heavy.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I can't even imagine how much that thing must have weighed. I mean, think of people actually use that stuff. Now they
yes,
go down with like they're in plastic bags, and it's just
I know, right? I think we got a close up of something really beautiful here.
Yeah, I try to. This is the. Yeah, I don't have to tell you what that is. I do. I took several photos of it to get the scope because I've never seen it up close. I mean, we see, Serizawa holding it. We see a little bit of it when it falls down and before it kills Godzilla, But I wanted to get a close up so folks could see, wow, yeah, it's a little rusty here, and there's a little screw there. So seeing the oxygen destroyer and behind it are the actual books, the script, and I think the playbook. I believe that's what it's called. From the movie, those are the
Mhm.
actual books. Yeah, that
Oh
uh,
man,
Wanda would
it's
have
to
held,
see
or
yeah,
yeah,
to see the very ones that that was used in the film, and of course the behind the scenes of the playbook slash script, like you said,
yeah,
with that that logo on there. We'll get another picture of it at some point, but is that logo on there literally hand etched or what, painted, I guess? Yeah.
yeah, in a very dark. I'm sure over the years it's faded, 70 years, but I wonder if it was a very rich crimson red. It looks like that kind of color. It does look a little faded, but I wonder what it would have looked like in 54, or
Yeah.
53, it would have been a very deep crimson red. I don't know. Yeah.
And I've seen photography from that time, but it was, of course, black and white. So we
Right.
didn't know how crimson it was. This
Yeah.
always got my attention. Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the Cybot head from 84, excuse me. So it looks when you it's just on a pedestal and you can get very close to it. Um, it's actually really creepy looking because it looks like there's dried flesh on it, and um, it's again, it's creepy looking. If you're into that kind of thing. But obviously, as Godzilla fans, we're just excited to see a something that is not CG. Nothing against CG. I just like to see artifacts from films, and it's nice to see something that was. They wouldn't do a Cybot anything anymore. I don't think right now it would all be, a CG generator or something, which can look wonderful. But it's nice to see something analog, just a handcrafted head. um,
and prior to Jurassic Park,
yeah,
doing this animatronic work where you got to see the lips curl and the eyeballs move
right,
and
right.
the
Yeah,
eyelids, and you see
yeah.
why.
Stan Winston would have loved this. Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Stan Winston, and the fact that they 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 thought about those minor details of if his lips are going to curl, we're going to see some of his gums, which is why
right,
we have what looks like red lipstick on this.
right,
He
right,
didn't.
right.
He
At
didn't
least
have.
you got to hand it to him. The Cybotzilla worked, I think, considerably better than the Cybot Kong they did in '77. There, I think that's '77. Love that film. Great film. Kong's awesome. The Cybot thing and that's kind of quirky looking. I mean, I'm glad they did it. It's kind of cool to have. I wish they'd show that off somewhere. Someone must have that somewhere.
Oh,
But the
yeah,
Cybotzilla did a good job in '84. I mean, it looked, you can see when the plane's going by. It's kind of that. I think that's the Cybodzilla shots. It shakes a little bit, but I think it looks pretty cool.
yeah. Oh, Fred's got a question for you. What Godzilla monster he faced off? Oh,
Oh,
bring
to see
him
them
back.
bring back. Oh boy,
Okay.
Fred, that's a go. I would have to say I'm a big Gigan fan, but boy, he's been in everything. That's a good one. Fred, what would you like to see? What monster would you like to see Godzilla face off with if they brought him back?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and glad we had MMS and X Plus. So the Cybot, yes, we do have those now.
Yeah.
Cybot is incredible. Interestingly, of course, this is my favorite Godzilla film. This is the one that started it for me.
Oh, no
Was
kidding.
84, 85. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was the one that I saw on television as a little kid and just fell in love with it. He scared me, but I just kept coming back for more.
Good
So
for you.
I couldn't get enough of Godzilla, but you got incredibly close to it, and that's an awesome experience to know that you're now you don't even have glass in between you, right?
No, you can. Of course, you wouldn't out of respect, but you could touch the thing. It was just, but it again, it just creeped me out a bit because it looks like a skull. I can't. They did a real good job.
Yes, they did, and I know the scale of this thing. Ed Godzishevsky, I think, talked about to scale. It was in the neighborhood of what was it, 30 or so feet tall. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah, when
yeah.
all put together. So much of it has deteriorated over time, and
Right,
they've
right.
used it. Yeah, they've used it in front of I think Toho Studios at one point, and
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. It did a little roadshow thing too. I think at the time '84 came out, they were,
mhm,
putting in different, showcasing at different places, and it got a lot of. This may be the only thing that's left of the Cybot, perhaps. That
very
survived. Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, very possible. And I remember you get some close-ups of it at some point. But yeah, we got to get you in the shot too. You were really there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was, this. I'm not much of a selfie stick person, so that's actually my first time really using a selfie stick. So people probably can go, you don't know how to use a selfie stick. So, you know,
It
I think I
works.
was
It works
mostly was
well.
just trying to get like scale. of how of we see Sarah's Dr. Sarazawa holding the thing, and it's kind of about that big, if you would. I was trying to get a scale of me next to it. It's about the size of a little bigger than a bread box. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Oh, this is awesome too.
Oh yeah, they had at this exhibit they had a mecha case of stuff from mostly I think all of it was Heisei if I or maybe one Millennium, but yeah, Kawakita he was really good with the special effects director in the Heisei era. He was really great with his mechanical stuff and the Toho mecha stuff. So these are all the um, uh, some of the flying vehicles, as you were, that were in various films. I think that's the Mogera, I think, from Space Godzilla, if I'm correct there. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And then Garuda from
Yep.
Mechagodzilla 2. Yep.
Yep.
And there's, yeah, from Millennium,
Yep.
the,
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
that's Zilla of Mechagodzilla 3, I think. I
yeah,
think so.
or
Yeah.
yeah, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. So
Yeah,
many
there you go.
titles.
Yes.
Yeah. But oh, so cool. Yeah, to see how, and to see, yeah, how big they made them, but at the same time, how small they made them too, to scale.
Yeah.
This probably is not much bigger than the Oxygen Destroyer bread box,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, it's about that size, and it's neat. I don't know if this would have been what shots. I can't tell which shots it would have been in, or maybe this was used for certain shots, and then they scanned it for the 3D, for the machine interpretation of the CG stuff. But it's nice to see physical vehicles, and gee, I wish you could play with one of those things.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's the tank, the dunk
Oh
tank.
yeah, a dunk tank.
Yeah, what a great demonstration. That used it
Oh,
really.
I loved it. I thought that was so clever.
I know, and to say that they were amazed by it, but you also had to put yourself in the shoes of people in the 1940s,
Sure.
and yeah, and say, "Oh, it works. The demonstration shows me what I
Right.
need to do." Today, they
Right.
would use a PowerPoint or
Right. Right.
generated image on a screen.
Yeah, yeah, they had to
Here, they
sell
really
this
have to
to
show.
they had to sell the idea, to a very to a citizenry. Really, some of them, of course, were in the war, but seeing people science the heck out of something, and not a PowerPoint, but look, if we can do it miniaturized, we can make this thing bigger. You can make this happen. I thought it was brilliant.
Yep. Fred has responded. Yeah, he'd like to see Megalon. Yeah. It,
Hey, okay, yeah, that was a one-hit wonder. So having a new Megalon, geez, send that over to Takashi Yamazaki and see if I think he's going to be doing. I heard a Smog Monster. He's going to bring back Smog Monster.
yeah.
I don't know if that's
Smoggy.
a rumor but Megalon would be a good one because I
Now,
just love
Fred,
giant bugs.
yeah, well, and I was going to say, Fred, if you haven't had the chance to see the short films that Toho's released, Godzilla, ends up with a rematch of a animated version of Megalon, essentially. So check that out. If you haven't had the chance to, Fred, it's out there on YouTube, I'm sure, or the Internet Archive. I know you can see these short films as well. So yeah, no huffing the free on Len. So, but they had to use what they did. Yeah, he's a Hedra fan, and I always thought, in respects to the Legendary series, starting their work with the director of Godzilla versus Hedra, blanking on his name right now, but it would, because he was instrumental in bringing the rights of Godzilla over to Warner Brothers for the Legendary series to happen. And at one point, he was, I know Yoshimitsu Banno. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
Stefano, yes. Yeah.
and he, I know he was at G Fest one year talking about a possible Hedra Legendary or Warner Brothers American Godzilla film, but that obviously didn't solidify. But
No.
but yeah, if maybe in respects to Bono, that Yamazaki, and being a Hedra fan like he is, yeah, maybe he could bring a smog monster back, to show some real respect to the original creation.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that he was a Bano fan or a Smog Monster fan. That makes even why Yamazaki would choose it. That makes sense. All I just think
Oh
having
yeah.
a Megalon with it back too. That'd be maybe he could do both. I mean, I'm
Oh,
could
why
be
not?
greedy, but
I would like a whole new era of Godzilla films once a year, like Showa did.
there you go.
Yeah, and Heisei even. The Super X3, so nice they built it thrice. That is nice. I love that. And and I wonder, yeah, I mean, I know there was a caption or a place card holder or whatever with a description. Did anyone get the chance to maybe translate some of that for you to say this is the actual prop of the movie or a
Yeah, I just use
whatever?
Google Translate on the phone over
Okay,
the yeah. So I just put the phone over and they translated it for me. So um,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if they said this was concept um, a creation or if it was literally used as a model in the film, or like you said, maybe.
All
Um,
these were used in the films.
okay, excellent, amazing. So yeah, any damage you see on it, scuffs or scratches, it's because of
Yeah.
the handling in the
Yeah,
film.
they also they would have weathered it too to make it look, like it had been used before. Um,
Yeah, yeah, very cool. Oh, we've got
Oh,
baby.
my favorite. I love the little Godzilla Sumi. I think it's the most adorable little thing. Well, it came out in '94, Space Gods, of course. That's when the year my son was born, '94. So there's a little emotional attachment there. But I love the little thing, and you can see this is well worn. Uh, 94, so it's got almost 30 years of storage. He's starting to crack a bit.
Still looks pretty good for that, but you're right. Probably where the actor probably did some folding up of it to get
Yeah,
inside of it there.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah. Oh, and I know we
yeah.
got a
You can
tail shot. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Zilla 95. So you can see the. I know it's so tempted just to get the headshots on the suits and the body. I'd like to see where parts of it, like, yeah, that was ripped because it was, you know, grabbed by some actor or some wireworks person and the tail broke, or you can see things that get used.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And there's Mogira. Oh, that looks
Yes,
awesome.
yeah, and this I think would have just been the little miniature again, used in the film probably when the opening sequences of Space Godzilla, where they're showing the Mogera being assembled. I think this would have this is what they would have used in that shot, having the miniature.
And didn't you ever find it when you do see something that was on film, and it's displayed in this bright white color, lighting in a display like this, and there's always this maybe a bit of disbelief that it was actually from the film, but at the same time, the way they lit it for the film and shot it with the certain lenses and all, obviously it's going to look a little different. And so what they were
Yeah,
trying to paint and what colors they were trying to bring out in it does translate into film, but there is something hyper realistic about that. And then there's something about seeing it under this lighting condition that almost causes a little bit of disbelief, doesn't it?
absolutely, and it's about probably about that big, maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet, and they make it look big,
Yeah.
which is ingenious. I mean, even in you're right. What about the colors? The Godzilla suit, the one from Godzilla 2000, which is in this. If you have that shot, it's in this. That suit was there. It's got different colors in it. It's got a little bit of pink. It's got a little bit of green. It's got a little purple. It's a myriad of colors based, and I guess they have it like that. So that when they shoot it, with different lights, it looks different on screen. I can't imagine what they're why they use those different colors. I can only think of that they're trying to make it look otherworldly, I think. He's not one color, he's a kind of a bunch of colors. It's kind of weird when you see the suit and you look on the screen. It's like, wait a minute, is he green or is he gray? I guess just depends on the lighting, but this thing, they just made it look big. I don't know how they did that. It's just amazing. A tiny little thing on the screen. It looks like a giant robot. It's beyond
Yeah.
me. I'll let the masters do all the. I just like watching the movies. I'm just amazed at how they make these things look real. You know?
And like if you look at Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, where he had miniatures, but they joked with him that they were hardly miniatures, they were bigatures, because he wanted to get so much detail into
Wow.
it that they kept expanding the scale of
Right.
those
Right.
miniatures.
Wow.
And yeah, sometimes you got to do that. Fred, I was going to say I will shoot you a link to the short films. These are amazing short films. Not all of them are on YouTube because they might have a short life on YouTube. So I think they post them on there, then they take them down.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But they are coming to Blu-ray. Those short films eventually. They have announced that. And
Okay.
Brendan Morley from Autistic Lizard Productions. Good to have you, Brendan. Gojira fan of monsters with folklore, real world creature basis. For instance, I'd love to see Gabra return, as he's based on an Oni. Oh, I actually
I
didn't
didn't
know.
know that.
No,
Wow.
yeah, I will have to
Okay.
look this up.
An Oni, a Japanese demon. I thought, yeah, because he looks like I thought it was like a giant frog or something. So an Oni. All right, I've got homework, Gojira. I'm going to look that up and see what that is.
Me too, yeah. Going for new monsters. If going for new monsters, maybe something based on the centipede more than the megalodon, or maybe a termite, insectoid style, yeah,
I'm always for
creatures.
the big insects. I bring on the big. I love the deadly mantis. Them. They just bring on the giant bugs.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that one with Peter Graves, the beginning of the end.
There's another one.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, good to have you, loosely collected. And let's get back to the photos because these are beautiful. You were talking about the 2000 suit.
There it is. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, yeah, and the again the camera here. I was trying to get the you can see how worn the suit is. Well, it's 24 years old. It's got a little of the vinyl kind of peel away, but I was trying to capture the colors. It's green, but it's specks of pink and purple. I think they just had it like that so that when the light hits it, it just pops on the screen, perhaps. Um, but yeah, it was neat to see the Zilla too. I love the film. I thought that was a lot of fun. I like all the Godzilla movies, but I remember the 2000 one because I think I took my wife to that when she had not seen a Godzilla movie on the screen before, so I had to educate her in the wonders of Godzilla. And we had been married a number of years. So, we're going to go see Godzilla 2000. She said, okay. And, she enjoyed it. But
Yeah. And this is the great. This was. I know him. I met him. It's the suit actor Ken. Not
Satomu
Ken,
Kitagawa.
Tomo
Yeah.
Kitagawa. Yes,
Yeah.
probably the shortest of the suit actors. Maybe, I don't know. He's
Yeah,
quite short.
perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've met him, and he was quite short. But also Nakajima-san was there, and he's also quite short, obviously. But
Right, right.
um, yeah, I think Satsuma is probably one of the tallest. He's towering.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
those
was.
colors that you talked about. Yeah, they're in there, and you're just like, but I don't see it on the film. But for some reason, it is present, but under different lighting conditions, just like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And this one, I've always thought had the most interesting expression on his face, and how and how Kitagawa was able to emote emotions
Yeah.
through the facial movements. Sometimes
Yeah.
that you're just like, man, he's going to tear
Yeah.
you
I
up.
love the way he held his body as a crouching. I think Kitagawa did a great job bringing Godzilla to life. I love his Godzilla moves. They're
Mhm.
refreshing. They're pretty neat.
Yeah, we get a little of the dorsal fins, which seemed more subdued than we remember. But I do know that they brought out more of that purple, violet kind of color in the dorsal
Yeah.
fins in Megagyrus or Megagyrus, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one was probably a little bit more subdued in that. Now the eyes look different. I wonder if this is the room reflecting. Maybe that eye is the correct one from the film, but
Yeah, it's
the
like
eye
a
just
yellowish. It is yellowish, kind of pasty looking. Yeah, and I seem to I think maybe they may have used a little animation in the eye at some points, because it looks like there's almost like a glassy look to it in the movie, but again, it could be just an artifact of the movie studio lighting, but it is like
yeah.
a palish yellow thing, and it's hollow looking. I couldn't get too close. It's hot. It's actually was on a pedestal, and trying to photograph the head. I didn't want to touch the costume or the suit or anything. And but yeah, it looks kind of a hollowish thing. It's not a solid. It looks like the eye was looked like a marble almost. You could almost
Huh.
see through it. Yeah.
Yeah. This would be which suit?
This is
Chest.
95. Yeah, this is Godzilla 95.
Oh, wow.
And what I was trying to capture here, you might be able to see them other the holes where Satsuma-san would have looked through or breathed through. So I don't know if you can see the holes in there, but that's yeah. So his head would have probably been, yeah. You might be able to see them. Yeah, there's a little bit there, but his head would have been around there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible just to think his head is in the neck, and
Yeah.
that's why I've always seen them when they act like Godzilla, they have their arms clear up here. Well, that's correct for a suit actor
Sure.
because of that very reason. You would have it that high. So
Yeah.
this is so cool to see how close you were and how detailed they've gotten it. Now I wonder some of this melting if that was explosions and
Oh yeah,
you
the
know
squibs and stuff they attach to them, and the suit, it's getting on in years again, probably again, 30, years plus, or
mm-mm.
close to 30 years.
And still remarkable as even as old as it's gotten and how
Yeah,
weathered it's gotten. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there's your 2000 suit again. Yeah, looks very slim looking at him like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
It almost looks like there's the midriff there is just gone completely. So, um, it kind of I'm wondering how they were standing these things. There must be something inside because it looks like
yeah,
it would fall over forward. I'd love to. I didn't think to ask any the people who were the monitors who were there. There were some folks from presumably Toho or whatever, but to ask them like, hey, how does these things standing up? But yeah, so
yeah,
there's the 95 suit, and
yep,
yours truly just trying to get like a size comparison really of the
yeah.
suit next to a normal size human being. So a pretty big
Yeah.
suit.
And Gojira, you might be right. Some sort of mannequin or armature. I was thinking like a metal
Oh
armature.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. This I love because of the hardware. How close we can get to see
yeah,
the from a shop hardware that is part of this, and beyond the fact that obviously we have a mold of the skull, but we
right,
have literal bolts and nuts and
yeah, yeah,
hinges.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just I love the again the analog of the older films where they built a look at the screws in the head. I mean, it's just the imagination to draw it out. Okay, so we got to build a giant cybot head, and and they're trying to again they're going to cover this with skin, and latex and stuff. So. And even like the lid for the eyeball lid, the eyelash,
Yes.
pretty
Yeah,
clever.
yeah.
They were very
So
clever.
much, yeah, so much, motors and
Yeah,
yeah, and it even is simpler than what they did for Jurassic Park. Obviously, the
right.
budgets are different, and
Sure.
this is predates that by 6-7 years. But
Right.
yeah, the amount that needs to go into it. Nothing easy about this because even if you ask Stan Winston about the giant T-Rex, the balance of that thing was just so, uh,
Yeah.
difficult to figure out, because anytime you get something as big as that and they start pouring water on it for rain, of course, it's just wanting to not react the right way.
Right, right.
Yeah, there's that valve. I love seeing literal,
Yeah.
valve gauges, and yeah.
Yeah, and I try to get a close-up shot of because again, we've only seen the oxygen destroyer from a distance. When Sarazawa's holding, when they drop it, to see the actual close-up of what does it look like? Is there a what's that? Is there a numbers on the dial? So I was trying to get close shots of it. It's behind glass, of course, but to be able to see what the dials look like. What. Um, the knobs to the knobs turn and things like. I'd love to know if that thing turns or
Hmm.
just neat to see.
Yeah, if that's the real trigger, for setting
Yeah,
it off or whatever.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and listen, Osaka or Mount Fuji, right?
Oh yeah, this is Fuji from let's see here. Where was I? Oh yeah, on the Shinkansen on the way to
Okay.
Osaka. Yeah, just so
Yeah,
no snow on Fuji. Yeah, kind of
that's what I've
scary.
heard. Yeah, for the first
Yeah,
time in like forever. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's great there. And
The
then
dunk
and
tank.
dunk tank. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Is this
so that's the sign that was so at the meeting before they go to the dunk tank, I guess is a sign showing that this is where the official meeting is going to be, where people will discuss what they're going to do with Godzilla. That's the sign, what?
okay? Yeah, to call them in. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Right there you are.
I just love to, I
Unbelievable.
love to see all the mechanics. I mean, the guts to just say, and they built a giant foot for this film too, like
That's
an
right.
actual 1-to-1 size foot. Like I just love the audacity of like, let's build a giant foot and let's build a cybot head. It's just great.
Yeah. And I was going to say the foot didn't make it into as much 85, but seeing the Japanese version, you get to see that foot a little bit more often.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. Oh wow, look how they're right there. Just
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
so
Oh,
the to the right of me is the space is the Mechagodzilla from I think Mechagodzilla 3, I think. Yeah.
sorry, I
But
should have had these ordered
that's okay.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
surprises.
Yeah, look how
I mean,
close
see,
you
look
got
at the little
there.
dial. I mean, there's no needle there. I wonder, was there a needle in that dial in 54? Maybe the needle fell out or something. I'd just love to know what was in that dial.
Yeah, exactly. And if it actually worked, or again,
Yeah, I'd love to
yeah.
know that.
Oh, some trains from '54, right?
Yeah, this of all the things, truly this blew me away. Of them, I stared at those trains for probably an hour. Um,
Wow.
those are the I think it might be the Yamanote line where so Godzilla is crossing the train, the tracks, and he puts his foot down, and the trains slam. Those are the trains. It blew
Wow.
me away that the actual Godzilla 54 suit touched those trains. Our
Right.
beloved Nakajima-san in that suit touched those trains, and there's glass inside. The windows are there's glass. Plastic was available then, hard to come by. But the
Yeah.
fact that I mean, the train shot is in there for what, 13 seconds, but they put glass in the windows. uh, and the trains blew me away. That was the one thing
Yeah.
I almost fell to my knees. I couldn't believe that they actually had real things that the original Godzilla suit touched. That blew me away.
Exactly. Yes. Again, yeah. I think you really loved that oxygen destroyer. But there's your scripts and playbook, like you talked about,
Yep.
with
Yep.
some paintings going on there, and the bleed from the painting, even
Yeah.
dripping metal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a horror
Yeah.
film.
Uh huh. They knew they had something special.
So this is outside of the expo. I mean, they just had it's walled off, so passersby couldn't get a free view, I guess, whatever. But so yeah, they had some of the all the posters lining. outside as you walked in, and these are folks just waiting to get in line. They were numbered. There was a timed ticket, so entries were, on the at the every half hour, but no one was inside going, well, you've been in here an hour, you need to go. It was just mostly, trying to get, they spread out the time so you could see things and not get crowded inside of a room. So they did a good job with crowd control and having people see things without being on top of each other. So
Yeah. It's not like a Disney park where everyone's,
right.
wall to wall, I mean, elbow to elbow. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Yeah. So this is the diorama. So this is I didn't do this because I was letting the other folks who were there was a little bit of a line, but you could put your smartphone or any phone on a little track on the bottom, that little black grate. You could put your phone there, and a mechanical thing would move your phone around the diorama, so you could create your own little Godzilla minus one movie thing. Um, so I thought that was kind of clever. I saw people doing that, like, oh, that's neat. I'm not into that kind of thing, but if you wanted to make your own little Godzilla view, you could. It was kind of cute to be able to do that.
yeah, that is so cool looking, and the fact that you get to take something, they're thinking of you taking something home from it. You take those
Yeah.
images home.
Right,
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Jonathan, sorry about the garbled mic. I don't know why it's happening. We troubleshooted some things and we couldn't figure it out. But yeah, the show must go on. But thank you for bearing with us. But yeah, that's a beautiful shot there. Oh, look at this ensemble.
Yeah, so this is the main suit collection here, where you just these are the ones that the actual suits that they had all in one area. So you could just spend time here looking at the suits and then go to look at the mecha stuff. When you first get in there, the first thing that faces you is the oxygen destroyer. You see that, and then to the left of that, are the diving boots and the diving helmet. To the left of that are the buses, the trains. And once you leave that little area, then you see the Cybot head. You see the Cybot head, then you're faced with the suits. So they organized it in kind of, I think they just went with Showa, a little bit of the early Heisei, and then Heisei, then Millennium, then Rewa. So they kind of put a little thought into how they would display things. But these are the actual suits, and yeah, just need to see just a little grouping of different suits from Godzilla, and of course the little Godzilla is just adorable. I just think it's the
Yeah,
cutest little thing.
yeah. That even like you talked about the age of it, showing itself a little. It does look a little bit like it's faded over time. The colors.
Yeah, the left hand is torn. Like there's little holes in the left hand. I did
Oh,
get there are close-up shots of the suit. You may not have it on your, but the left
yeah.
hand's a little worn.
Yeah. If we come to that, I'll kind of go more rapid fire through this. But yeah, there's
Yes.
the Super X2. Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. From the film. Yep. Some close ups of that. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's the Grand King Ghidorah from Mothra 3. That's I think that's the one they would have used the Wireworks for. To various shots in Mothra 3.
Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, you just want to take these things home.
Oh yeah, I want to play with that one. Yeah. Oh gee, another me with the thing. Oh yeah, the detail of the claws.
Yeah, very detailed there. Yeah, there's some of the damage like you talked about. If you want me to stop at any point, you just let me know.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you go.
Yeah. Oh, some food.
Oh,
Even
okay.
better.
So this is very quickly. That's my little meal I had on the Shinkansen on the way to Osaka. I just thought it was just a little bento box.
Oh, just
It's
great.
great to be a big kid.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah, take some of that home. But yeah, this is so amazing. They really showed a lot of love and respect for the suits and everything you're seeing here on display and lit very well. Just such respect for it. This is not just a run-of-the-mill monster movie, but this is a legacy of monster films, and for fans that just love it. Oh yeah, see some of the damage and wearing.
Yeah.
The
I was
course of
trying to
time.
get photos so people could see what is it, how does it look now? And it, it's again this thing is 70 years old, but they've kept it. It's not rusty, but I think it's purposefully looked weathered so that it looks like it's been around. But black and white, it's going to look, crystal clear. It's going to look brand new. I mean, in the movie it looks crystal clear, but in real life it does look a little weathered. It looks like it's been around.
Yeah, definitely has. I'll get Gojirosaurus's question in here. Did you ever go to Yoshinoya, the McDonald's of Japan, fast food noodles?
No, I have not. I have to go back now and go do that. He's given me a lot of homework to do. Yeah, Yoshinora. I've not heard of it.
Okay. Oh, there's the Super X2. Yeah, again, so nice. They built it twice, then they built it thrice. So
That's right. The Rodan you're seeing in the back is from Final Wars. I think it's a statue. It is not a suit. I think it was used for publicity things. Yeah.
okay. And okay,
That was the Mecha Godzilla 2. That's the one the flying one. That's the one they used for the flying shots.
Yeah. Okay. All straightened out like that. This is amazing.
Yeah. The tail from Shin Godzilla. So I think that would have been seen in the end shot of the movie when, after he's frozen, the mouth opens, I believe. That's what they used in Shin Godzilla.
And this is the shot that everyone, when you get to the end of the film, it was, what?
Yes. Yeah. I was staring at the screen going, what did I just see?
Yep. Scary. Yeah, so there's the Garuda. Underrated flying vessel, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, that must have been kind of on the bigger size.
It was, yeah. It took up the whole case. That whole half of the case was the Garuda.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, nice close-ups here. Yeah. Oh, there's some of that.
Yeah, you can see the hand. You can see the hand's a little worn. It's just a little hole there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still looking cute.
Yeah, look at that face. I mean,
look at that.
You can just hear the cooing that he makes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the breed holes that Kitagawa would have, probably used. Or
just so subtle, but there they are. Yeah. Not much to see through, but enough.
No, I'm hoping they were there for breathing or let air into the suit. I hope that's what they're there for. Yeah.
Oh, these are beautiful. And we're going to wrap things up here. And where can they find these photos out there if they'd like to check them out for themselves?
Oh, yeah. I'll put the links in the chat. This is the link to the 54, the Expo. I'll put that in there. This is the Godzilla Expo. Feel free to download these and enjoy them. I just love sharing. There's that. So cool. And if you want to see some of the other tour that I did, just tour photos, you can look at these. Again, you can download them, take a look, make wallpapers out of them. I don't care. I just love sharing. Good tour. Went to Matsumoto Castle. I went to Nagoya Castle. A lot of fun. Japan's a great place. I hope everyone who's on the chat gets to visit. Squirrel away our pennies and get yourself over there. Don't let the language thing scare you. The food's great and very inexpensive. If you can get a good flight over there, get yourself over there. Treat yourself to another culture and experience life that way. I hope you get to do it.
Yes. Absolutely. I'd love to go as well, Gojirosaurus.
I would like you to go too. I'd like to go with you.
I know, right? Yes, and I will share the links for Len's pictures in the description of this video after it goes off of live and on the VOD version. Yeah. Well, thank you so much
it's my pleasure. It's been an honor for me. I've never done anything like this, so thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, I so appreciate it. When I saw these, I was like, I gotta reach out to Len because
Oh,
it's
glad
part
you
of it.
did.
Yeah, just part of it's seeing the pictures, but the other is what you're bringing us is the experience. What were the smells like? What was the experience of just the courtesy like? All of that. You brought us there, and that's what I so appreciate from you.
Well, thank you, Nick.
Okay. Well, I play my outro video, but just like all of my tech today, probably is not going to have sound. So we'll just tell everyone to thank you so much. Sayonara in that sense. Um, and stick around after we go off the air. Len will do our proper goodbyes. But thank you all for all of the support and love that you've given both of us here on the Monster Report Live. And again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to this channel. Follow Len on his socials. I know you're on Facebook, and then the link that I'll provide everyone will be in the chat here. The Flickr link that you've given me. So very cool. I will post it into the actual chat, or the chat that we've got, the live chat comments, and I will make sure that it's in the description as well. But yeah, this is amazing stuff. I'm just so grateful that you could share it with us. Anyone else, did you get to see any other G fans in your travels while you were over there?
Yeah, the tour some folks who I've seen at the G Fest. There was of course JD was there, and Ruth, and their daughter Reagan. Kevin Horn was there. He's been a presenter at G Fest. So it's good to see some folks and some new faces too. Folks who have never been to Japan before were there. Most of those folks had never been. A couple of folks had never been outside of United States. So it was nice to see them take that leap and say, "Hey, I'm going to go somewhere and check a place out." And if not for the Godzilla things, just to see another culture and to experience food and music from another area, and to see how efficient a subway system can truly be is quite amazing.
Yeah, it definitely puts to shame some of the large cities we have in the U.S. with their subways, where you're not sure if you're going to make them off alive sometimes. So
Yeah, I live
yeah,
outside of Boston. I can tell you it's a horror show. The
right.
Japan subway system blows ours away. There's no comparison. We need to go
Yeah,
over there and learn how to do it.
yeah, do that properly. But again, yeah, what an experience, and thank you again for sharing it with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah. And thank you out there for everyone who has checked out the Monster Report Live. Again, I'm your host, Nick Adam. My guest today, Len Medlock. And we are just so glad you've been here and shared this time with us. Like, subscribe, Atomic Blast, smash that like button, and get us to that 100,000 subscribers. We are very close, less than 2,000 subscribers to that silver plaque here on YouTube. And it's all because of the support from you all that this has been possible. So for me, Nick Adam, and my guest, Len Medlock, this has been another episode of the Monster Report. We will catch you next time. Thank you.